Hey there, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Smut Couch.
Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
It's going good. I answered for you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm Maddy.
Oh, I'm Alexandros.
I realize we've been forgetting to say that, just so you guys aren't confused.
You know, they know who we are, right? We're a huge deal. Once again, if you haven't heard of Maddy and Alexandros, what are you doing with your lives?
sad for you a little bit. Am I right?
I never know how to start these. I'm never
The
gonna
silence
know.
is deafening.
We're going to be 30 episodes in, and I'm going to be like, how do we start? What do we do?
It's always awkward.
Couldn't tell you.
Well, you can thank them again for listening.
Absolutely. Always. She's
Sorry,
dying,
I'm dying.
guys. She's dying of gratitude.
What if Alexander just killed me on the spot? What if he poisoned me?
That's how I do it. That's how I gain control of the Smut Couch with our billions of dollars that we've made.
Well, yes. Kill me off. Well, yes, as we're saying, thank you for listening.
Thank you
and
so much,
supporting
guys. Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. We love all the feedback that we've been getting, all the comments. That, you guys seem really excited for both the podcast and the content that we put out. So thank you.
Thank you for being so nice. Emphasis on those who are nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you're going to be a hater, at least comment.
Yeah. So everyone can see that you're mean.
And we can get interaction.
Exactly. Not my own personal DMs, please.
Stay out of them.
Anyways, sorry. Not the trauma. Anyways. Today we're going to be talking about Bride by Ali Hazelwood.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I hope you did do your homework this time, guys. You had it easy with the last episode with none.
Yes.
But this time, hope you did your readings.
Well, yes. She's TikTok, BookTok's newest darling, if you will.
Bride is or Ali Hazelwood is?
Bride. Ali Hazelwood has
been around. I know. Yeah.
She's been on top for a while.
This is my first Ali Hazelwood book. I haven't read Love Hypothesis.
That's wild. I've read all of her, what are they called? The STEM, women in STEM books. I've read all of those. So Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and Love on the Brain.
I'll believe you if that's what they're called. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
They're all cute.
Couldn't tell you.
But she's Miss Girl is spreading her wings.
She is. I really liked the what is it? The acknowledgments at the end, all the thank you little bullet points that she has.
I didn't even read them because I finished it listening.
Fake fan.
I'm sorry, I
fan,
finished it in the car.
Oh my.
What did they say?
Anyway, just stuff about how thank you to all these people, thank you to my agent, publicist, and just the way that they thank everyone is pretty nice. Especially not a thank you to Ticketmaster, which I thought was kind of funny.
I would not like to thank Ticketmaster. Are you a Swiftie? Is that what that is?
I think that's a Swiftie joke, right?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, if there's something about Miss Hazelwood. Wait, what?
There's a bonus essay back there too. You didn't read that?
No.
That's okay. I didn't either. It's all fine.
What? I opened this and I saw this says groom. I said,
oh, is that Ali Hazelwood back there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that we were going to be doing
girl. That's our girl. She's actually I don't want to say the wrong thing, but she's an actual scientist.
Yeah, no, I gathered that from reading this. There was a lot of big words in there that I'm not familiar with.
Yes,
but I was
a smart lady.
I like this. That's actually something that was very surprising about reading this. I was expecting just to read it just for this and be like, all right, let's see what's going on with this one. Just going to be another check off the list. I had me giggling a little bit. I was not expecting to be laughing as hard as I was reading it, in a good way.
Yes. What was your line that you texted me?
It was
cat?
Yes. So Misery, that's the main character's name for those of you who didn't do the readings. And she has her roommate's cat. And when she goes over to the Wares, there's a moment where they think that she's trying to murder them and stuff. And they're all false accusations. So she just goes, are you going to accuse my cat of racketeering next or something?
Yes.
I don't know why, but that sent me and got me so invested in this book out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's so witty.
Up till that point, I was kind of just reading it. I can't really get into this. All of a sudden, you're charging cats with racketeering. And I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. Hold on a second.
I love it when books lean into the camp. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
that's exactly what this is.
Yes.
I couldn't think of the words for it, but it's it's camp.
It's camp. Because is it the most crazy thing I've ever read in my life?
There's nothing groundbreaking about this at all, but that's not a bad thing.
Is it enjoyable?
Absolutely.
Yes. I loved it for that.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, I've said this before, but my Twilight heart, my Twihard girly inside of me that'll live on forever was loving this for that reason.
Do you think the biology was the same for Jacob?
Oh God.
Do you think
Oh God.
That's a good time.
I
We'll get
don't
into that in a little
know.
bit, guys. But
I don't know. That's
you
a
think
question. That's
him and Renesmee
not
had a fun little
Renesmee.
I don't like talking about that because she was
I don't
innocent.
either because she's a baby.
She's a baby.
Well,
A baby, bro.
ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love
It's a weird
Twilight,
choice.
but it did get weird. I won't deny that.
Yeah, because it definitely was never weird to begin with.
Yeah. Well, you know what? All this shit we talk about is weird, okay?
We talk about a bunch of weird things. All right,
Yes.
so should we hop right into it then?
Yes, let's hop right into
Don't-
it.
I thought, don't bring it up. We're starting the podcast over. That's it. That's it. If people know that I don't naturally talk this deep, it's over.
Yep. Okay, so let's set the scene, shall we?
So as is apparent, she gets married, guys.
Yeah, so it kind of opens with Miss Misery Lark, which is a cute little name.
Dude, I could not take the name Misery seriously.
I know.
at the
I
start.
was like, I liked, what did they
girl.
call her? Like, I mean,
They
you
call
have
her
to-
Misery.
Misery?
They just call her
Did
Misery.
she have a
all the time.
nickname? No?
Is she?
I don't know. Yeah, the name, I was like, that's interesting.
It's bad because like I just finished it yesterday, so like the fact that I don't remember if there was a nickname,
I could have
is
been making
not a
that
good
up.
start.
But I thought that Miss Girly called her something. Anyways, I mean, it's
Hmm.
irrelevant. But,
Basically, the first couple chapters, it kind of bounces a lot to a lot of flashbacks, which kind of made it hard for me to get into initially.
yes.
Because it's a lot of, this is my life, this is the world we live in. And the fact that the wares have green blood and the vampires have purple blood,
Yeah.
I
So Miss Misery, well, let's just say Misery is, she's like the daughter of like the leader of the vampires.
yeah, one of the main councilmen.
Yes, yes. So she's like a big person. It's kind of mobby.
Yeah.
You know, it's giving like,
This is monster mob romance, I think.
Well, yes.
They're like turf wars and such.
yeah. So she's that. And then there's also the werewolves,
The
and they have their
werewolves
own
in their
hierarchy.
territory.
Vampires very much stay away from humans because there's also humans. It's giving like our world, but with vampires. And
That's so fun. That's the funniest thing about this is that human culture has evolved exactly the same,
Yeah.
despite knowing that there are vampires and werewolves.
they're like, whatever.
Like they're just talking about like, yeah, blah 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 blah, and the next Star Wars movie's gonna come out.
I mean, to be honest, this world is such a shit show that if that shit started happening, I'd be like, yeah, that tracks.
that'd be
to be
word.
honest.
All right, yeah.
That wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've ever heard. You know? So I guess I get it.
Mhm.
If they're in
So,
our world.
I like how you just can just be like, all right, that's what I knew that I could just
Yeah.
kind of read this and be like happy about it.
Yes.
I was like, it's not that serious.
No, it's
All right.
not going to hurt your brain with the like world building, really.
Mhm.
Because it's just like, okay, it's pretty much our world. The werewolves and humans mingle more than the vampires. do.
Yeah.
They have more of a relationship. And then there's like a mayor or something. What is he?
Governor. I think?
Governor,
Yeah.
sure. Who like is in charge. I don't know. Whatever.
Basically, their system that they have in place for maintaining peace amongst the vampire,
Yes.
human, and werewolf factions is they send someone of significance to each species as collateral, as a
Collateral.
hostage.
hmm
And
As like kids.
there is a new alpha for the werewolves of this pack that's nearby them, and their collateral this time is going to be a marriage one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're offering up Misery as the bride as collateral for this
Mhm.
one because you got a plot. You
Yes.
know?
Which is wild because Misery was already a collateral.
She was a collateral for the humans for
Yes.
her entire life, so she doesn't feel at home amongst the vampires.
She doesn't feel as at home amongst the humans, and now, sure as you know what, she's not going to feel at home among the werewolves. You know?
Which was actually kind of interesting dynamic that we can get into
Okay.
a little bit later. But
Well, yes.
I like how it does start off with the wedding right off the bat. Like, we're not wasting any time with
Yeah.
this. Let's get into what we came here for.
It's a little bit, yeah. It takes everything that we hate about like House of Flame and Shadow. We just
Yeah.
go into it.
It's like, let's just hop right in.
There's no
Yeah.
need to fuss around.
It's called Bride. She's going to get married. In chapter 1, guess
Yes.
what happens?
She
She
got
gets
married.
married.
And who is she getting married to? The Alpha, as we say,
His man,
Mr. Lowe.
Moreland.
I was like, okay, Lowe.
I didn't like the name Lowe.
You didn't like either one of
I
their
didn't.
names.
I could at least get behind Misery of like, all right, that's
Yeah.
at least I don't know, Lowe just made me go, okay.
So they're getting married. It's a beautiful wedding.
And, yeah.
They put the blood on her
They put
neck
like little
or
scent
something.
things
Little scent
on her
thing.
to be like,
yeah.
it's gonna make him go wild for
Yes.
you, baby. And she's like, we're not gonna be doing anything tonight. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to be a part of this either because he's allegedly sending his own mate over as the collateral.
Yes. So she's like, oh, he has a mate. He's taken. We're going to be married for a year and then whatever.
And like, we'll see if this goes horribly. And
Because
we all
that's
kill each other.
always how these books go. They never end up together.
Oh, of course not. How could they ever end
That's
up
not why I bought this book.
Well, that's the end of it, guys.
Yep.
They don't end up together.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding. So they walk up to the wedding, and he kind of flips out and
Yeah.
grabs her and is like, "Why do you smell like this?"
Yes. Well, also someone like someone attacks each other. There's like a whole drama at the wedding.
Yeah, somebody tries to stab her and kill her,
Yeah.
but he immediately stops
Like, why do you
that.
smell like this?
But like they get married like before that happens.
Yes.
So like their wedding happens very quickly,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Oh my god, he thinks I smell awful." And me being the forward-thinking, brilliant genius that I am,
Yeah.
thinks,
Okay.
"I don't think you smell bad.
Yeah.
I think you might be." Bear with me here. This is just a long shot theory from the
okay.
first chapter. I think you might be his mate.
I think you're on
Which
something.
who would have thought? Who
I
would have
know.
guessed something like
would've
that
thought?
ever happening? Whoa!
Yep. Even though it's never happened in the world with a vampire and a werewolf.
Oh, I guess that's
There's
true
no
too. Yeah.
interspecies like
No,
as far as we know, there's
far
been
as
no
we know,
interspecies.
and that couldn't happen. They don't biologically match up. Those of you who know what nodding is, bear with us.
But maybe they could.
Ooh, who knows? Who knows? Who can say?
Yeah, so she goes to live with the werewolves.
Mhm.
She meets a little girl named in the audiobook they pronounced it Anna. And so
Well,
I was
because
like,
it's
okay.
Liliana. That's her full name,
Okay.
Liliana. So I guess Anna.
Yeah,
would be.
Anna. And she's like little sister to Lo,
Mhm.
rambunctious little thing. There's a cat.
Dude.
But right before they got married, Misery's best friend,
Her roommate.
what was her name?
yeah,
Serena, her
Mhm.
human roommate was
that
missing.
Was her little friend while she was growing up as the human collateral.
Yeah.
They were like always hanging out, and she's the only one who like didn't hate Misery for being a vampire.
Yeah. So she's like missing, and that's kind of how her dad gets her to agree to doing the wedding. He's like, well, maybe then we can figure out
Mhm.
what happened to Serena. And so
Because Serena had a little note that said L.E. Moreland on it, and that's
Mhm.
like, that's Lo Moreland.
yes.
Oh my gosh, that's my
Mhm.
fiance. I gotta marry this guy so I can find out what happened to my bestie.
Mm-hmm.
My bestie.
Yeah. And she has her cat. Miss
Mhm. And
named
she
Sparkles.
hates that cat.
She does.
Anna names it Sparkles. Yeah.
Anna names it Sparkles.
Yeah.
Very cute.
A little cat
And she's
friend right
living
there.
among the wolves. La-di-da-di-da.
They fucking hate her.
They do hate her.
don't
One of
like
them
her.
attacks her.
hmm
It's a whole thing.
Then she survives, and then
Yeah.
they're like, he's like, "Oh my god, no, she attacked me," and she's like, "Nuh-uh." Okay, and this is where we can actually get into the
Yeah. Now that we're into the
blood
meat
thing.
and
Sorry.
potatoes. Go ahead. What you got to say?
So
sir?
the humans have red blood, the vampires have purple blood, and the werewolves have green blood. What were the shades that you were picturing? these
Okay,
bloods?
actually,
'Cause
I
this-
did think about this.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I thought it was a weird thing.
I thought it was weird too because I've never heard this before.
Mhm.
The werewolves, the green for me, it was giving like sage.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping that it was like the darker hues. Unfortunately,
Sage is kind of light. My
Sage
dear
is light?
bestie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was like
sage
a
is like
forest
a
green.
lighter. No, sage is like a
Like the
sage-
green of your cup right there.
No, this is too bright. Sage is like that.
That's pretty dark green right there. Oh.
But no, the lighter part.
Oh.
Yeah, sage is like kind
Oh.
of light. Yeah, I was thinking like
I was thinking
Yeah.
like a dark,
Like
envy
forest?
green forest type of
okay.
thing. Because that's like how blood is like our blood is like maroonish kind of red,
Yeah.
like when it gets out there.
am
like,
aware.
when it's You've never.
no,
No, you wouldn't know.
Is that sage?
That is sage.
That's giving gray, no?
That's
Yeah,
gray
it's-
from our
yeah,
point
it's
of
just
view.
it's a light.
Yeah,
it's
light.
a light sort of washed out green.
Yeah.
They need to talk to their doctor if that's the.
Yeah, I imagine something like that with like a little darker, but I imagined it
Mhm.
to be like not that dark.
For those of you just listening, Solomon pulled up a green for us. That was definitely
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah, gray green. But yeah, I was picturing something, and then for they both were muted for me. I don't know why. And so like the purple was like more of like a
That was a dark purple again for me, like a
wow,
rich
no,
dark
not
purple.
me. I guess that makes more sense, but I think I just went girly pop with it. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's what I wanted to think, but also at the same time, I was thinking everyone's blood looked like like action movies from the 80s where like it would be like the bright red blood from
Mhm.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, "Ugh." That's and like, bro, that's not the color of blood because like they couldn't get away with stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel you.
And then for the green, I kept picturing if you've ever seen Predator. He's got neon green blood.
That's
that
what you
thing.
saw?
And that's what
No,
I
I
kept seeing. I was
didn't.
like, it's taking me out of it. It's taken
Yeah,
me out of
it's
it.
kind of wacky.
Mhm.
What a wacky
But
thing
I'm-
to add in.
Now that I know that Ellie Hazelwood is like a full scientist and everything like that, and
Yeah.
like has degrees
Oh yeah,
with this type of stuff,
Like
maybe
the
there's like
house
a
sounds
science behind it.
yeah,
Which, if
I
that's
think
the
it is.
case, then that's cool.
yeah,
But if it's not the case, feel free to just say that it is. I'll believe you.
yeah. I mean,
Got the degree for it.
It
I'll be like,
exists.
okay, sure. I'm no expert on werewolf blood
Yeah.
anyway.
peer review. I'm trying to see if this says what her PhD in neuroscience. That's big smart.
Yeah.
Imagine being that smart.
I don't have to. I naturally am.
You guys, I'm so scared. Every day I wake up scared. Okay, back to
Yeah, I
the
just wake up. I wish I
content.
didn't.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
now that we've gotten the blood talk out of the
Yes.
way, sorry, that's just something that I really had to get out there because
Yeah,
it's
it's
been in
very
the back of my
interesting.
mind the whole time. Every single time one of them cuts their hands open, it's like my green blood. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's right, because I kept forgetting too the entire time.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to that.
Oh, and also something that I just saw when I opened up my book to this page is that I forgot to say is that the vampires struggle to procreate.
Yeah.
So it's like a big deal. So vampires don't have relationships for like pleasure really.
They just go
They just
around
they're-
bounce chicka wow wow.
Well, yes, they're just trying to
Yeah.
populate because they're gonna
They're
get
going
extinct.
yeah.
Whereas like werewolves, they don't have a problem with that.
No, they
Probably
do
because of something.
not. They have this really cool way to make sure
Yes.
that maximum efficiency
Do you think
is
this is gonna
achieved.
become a series?
I kind of hope so. It leaves
I
off
think
on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I
at
think
the
it
end.
does. Yeah. So
Anyway, so
Anyways.
Lo is the new alpha at this point, and
he's like crazy powerful.
very like the strongest alpha they've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Classic.
He's also hot.
Always go. Oh no, he's hot.
No.
Like the way that she keeps describing him, because the whole thing is from Misery's POV.
Yeah.
And she's just like, his massive muscles and delicate hands ripple across. I was like, it's one of these kinds of stories. All right, I'm with it.
Mhm.
Okay.
We know what we're here for,
Mhm.
you know? And
Mhm.
they have like the kind of relationship where like he's like tortured and doesn't really let her in. And he's like, oh, but we can't.
Oh.
But I wish we could, but we can't. And you're
Oh.
like, but you
I
could.
got a little bit sick of that after a while. I'm not going to lie.
I did too. Especially he gave me the ick eventually.
Yes, there's a huge ick moment near the end.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's still trying to regain power as an
Yeah.
alpha because like the followers of the old alpha are still like kind of pissed about how it
Yeah.
all went down, but he didn't want to kill any more werewolves. So he was like, no, guys, let's go for peace. Because he's
Mhm.
such a cool guy like that.
He is.
And he's also an architect.
And he draws.
Yeah.
And so Miss Girly, she's trying to figure out stuff about Serena, her bestie that's
She's,
missing.
seen
She's
Scooby-Doo.
snooping. Yes, Mystery Inc. She's snooping around
Going down.
and she's going in like in his desks and she finds what? A picture of her that he drew. And it's beautiful. Because
Whoa.
of course.
What is
'Cause of
that
course.
about?
So she's like, that's interesting.
It's a bummer that he thinks I stink.
Yeah, it's a bummer that he has a mate elsewhere.
Eye roll.
Mm-hmm. So she's like kind of like becoming homies with some of them.
Mhm.
She's living. Eventually, he finds out that she's been snooping.
I mean, he knows instantly because he can smell her all over the room.
True. Her scent.
And she's like, damn, I showered.
Yeah. He's like, so what you doing with all this girl? And she's like, my bestie's gone. Can you help me find her? And he's like,
Maybe we can work something out.
yeah, maybe. And then
Because he, following all this, one of the werewolves that doesn't like Misery at all, sorry, table, I just kicked it, tries to kidnap Lo's sister.
yeah,
And,
and
Misery
she
stops it.
yes,
runs
I
it.
love that part to be
I
honest.
did like that a lot too. 'Cause
Yeah.
she runs out into the sunlight while it's still going.
which hurts, vampire stuff. Yeah,
Which was kind of interesting because the vampire mechanics don't work like normal ones where they burst into flames. It just kind of is like really bad sunburn and like it's gonna suck for
yeah,
a long time.
yeah.
Because like it kind of starts cooking a little bit.
That's like it kind of gives Vampire Diaries. Although I think it's a little more severe in Vampire Diaries. But in Vampire Diaries, they can be out for a moment and it'll sizzle.
Just sizzle a little bit.
Yeah.
No
But if
butter?
they stay out there, then they'll like burst.
Yeah,
into
they're
flames.
I think it's the same thing with them is that
Yeah.
like they'll just cook internally.
Yeah.
They can't handle
Yeah,
that.
so she runs in the sun to save because this little girlie, she's grown fond of her,
Mhm.
and she's like kind of the only one who like talks to her. Kind of a nuisance, but like in a cute way, you know.
Yeah.
They're her little bestie.
Yeah, I never believed Misery's hate of this kid for a second. She's
No.
like, you annoying little gremlin. I'm like,
You love her.
Love
Come
her.
on,
come on, give her a hug, give her a little
it's cute
forehead
vibes.
kiss.
Yes.
And they stop it.
Yeah.
Lo was like, thank you for helping her out, all that
Mhm.
stuff. I'll help you find Serena. But he also
Yes.
tells Misery a secret about Anna, that
Oh, yeah.
while they have the same mother, the father is different. Anna's father is human.
We have a Renesmee
It's
situation.
impossible. There's no way.
Yes.
How can this have happened?
So we have a half vampire, half human.
Nope. Half werewolf, half human.
That's what I meant to say. I went back to the Twilight. Half werewolf, half
Renesmee
human.
really sticking in there.
Listen, when I tell you that was a formative
Renesmee
thing
has
for me.
nodded inside your brain.
Ew, don't ever say that
I'm gonna keep
again.
whipping that word out.
Stop saying, I'm not going to go through
Nope,
this again.
I'm doing
Stop
it
saying
every
whip
time
it
now.
out.
I found your trigger. I'm going to use it.
Oh, goodness. What a healthy relationship this is.
Mhm. It's doing great.
Yes.
We're doing good so
That's
far.
true, that's
I don't
true.
know.
So-
Guys, how cool will it be like if we have a massive falling out and like you decide who keeps going on with the Smut Couch?
I feel like they'd take your side because I'm the only one that's gotten hate.
That's just because I'm private and I honestly I don't ever check my messages ever.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Please say you'd be on
Yeah, guys,
No,
hate
but
me
it's okay,
instead.
we're
I'm a
okay.
man. It should be much easier.
Yeah. Anyways, no, we're just kidding. Thank you for doing
Yeah.
this with me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's doing great. Great. You got to do it for the plot, though. You know,
Yeah,
that way when we
make
get
drama.
when we get the band back together after,
It'll be huge.
whoa,
That's true. Okay, anyways.
reunion tour,
Yeah, okay.
One Direction.
One Direction!
They'll be getting back together any day now. Their 10-month hiatus is almost over.
Please. for
We're
my
almost at what,
birthday.
10 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, any day now.
I have hope in my heart still.
Mhm. Sure.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
got really sidetracked.
Yeah, we
there for
did.
a
Back
second.
to the
Sorry.
content.
Yeah, so
So-
they're gonna offer to help each other, and Misery when she finds out that Serena was looking into Liliana Moreland,
Mhm.
not
Yes, so that was the name that was on Serena's little
note
situation.
that she was looking
Yes.
into, and they're like, so what was she doing looking into your sister? I
Mhm.
guess we gotta find that out together. Ooh,
That is how Lo would talk.
yeah, it is.
Like, Lo kind of doesn't have a personality.
yeah, honestly, This is not hate, but like the entire time that and this was kind of what made it better after a while was that the fact that we very clearly know she is his mate
Yeah,
as like a very
there's no
cle-
question.
like she's only fooling herself at this point that she's not
Yeah.
from the get-go. That kind of makes it better that you can just sit there rolling your eyes at Misery being like, bitch, okay. Like we
yeah.
both texted each other when we both got to the part where
Oh,
Misery's having a conversation with one of Lo's
Yes.
seconds in command. This was also just really funny, just like because she had just shifted out of a wolf form, so she just tits bouncing, walking around. That's how it's described in the book.
It
That's
is,
not
it
my
is. It's
words.
crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
not my thing. And they're just like, yeah, so where? Let me find it real quick. I'm very
On
sorry.
my phone,
You
sorry.
keep talking.
My
You keep-
phone is
you talk about something
charging.
else.
I don't want to get us too off track, so I'm not really gonna talk about something else. Well, actually, I do have something to say. So this is so Twilight coded. I wonder if Allie Hazelwood is a Twilight girly because the whole like smell thing, like, because you know what I'm talking about, or are you
Yeah.
not because of what you found?
I found it, but also you're talking about like how
Yes,
he's-
because you know when Bella walks into the science class and he's like, you know, and it's like because you're my own personal brand of heroin. Like it gives that.
I can't. Have you ever seen Vampires Suck?
Yes, I have.
That's one of my favorite movies ever.
The way
He just goes. "Oof."
though when
To
that
the
came
fish.
out, I was so offended because I was so into the Twilight. I was like,
That's
that's
such a good parody, though.
Oh yeah, it is good.
Uh,
Okay, what did you find?
so in this conversation, the collateral for the werewolves is named Gabby,
Mhm.
and that's who Misery thinks is Lo's mate,
Right.
even though no one ever like really explicitly says
she
that.
jumps to conclusions.
She-
She's a real girl
She
for
should
that.
join the Olympics the way she jumps to these conclusions.
But she's real for that. I jumped to those conclusions too.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm just not trying to make life feel more difficult, you know, and I feel so shitty about the mate thing. And then the second's eyes just go, he told you about that? And she's like, no, I'm not supposed to know, but a friend of my father's mentioned at the wedding that she was who I swapped with.
Oh yeah.
So I know his mate is the wear collateral, Gabrielle. And the second's just like, Gabrielle. Yes.
She's
Gabby is his mate. Yes.
Yeah, you're so right. You hit the nail on the head.
That's how I perfectly read it. And I literally texted you and I was like, bitch,
yeah, I know.
come on. Come on
Yeah.
now. And that kind of made it a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, because like I said, it's
You're
like,
just like-
it's just so unserious. So you're like,
It's
yeah,
like,
I
okay,
kinda-
all right. That's when
You're like, you're a dumb bitch, but I'm here on this ride
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
with you. Yeah.
Oh,
You like
wow.
buckle in and now you understand what ride you're on.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Yes.
So we go through all that. There's a big thing about mates biting each other.
Yes, the werewolves. They have to bite.
Yeah, they have to bite, and it's a whole thing, so
Mhm.
they'll leave a little sexy
A
scar.
mark. Have you seen
somewhere.
those people that get those tattoos?
I was gonna say that.
Were you?
Oh my god.
Those are so. If you have one, I'm sorry, but those are so scary.
Those are scary to you? I don't know. I feel like they can be done right, depending.
It gives me like Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox vibes. Do you know what I'm saying? Because remember they were like carrying each other's like blood. Was that them?
I was a boy growing up in the 2000s. So
That
Megan
was
Fox is a core
Angelina
memory.
Jolie
That was Angelina Jolie
and her first husband.
and
Or
what's his
second
name?
husband.
What's his name? What's that guy's name?
Slipping my mind right
Yes.
Brad Pitt?
No,
No, that was like
No,
the second
before
or
him.
third.
Oh, I know exactly. I can see him, but I know MGK and Megan Fox did something weird like that too. That was like very much emulating the Angelina Jolie sitch, but I can't remember what it was. You don't know?
I'm
what
just
were you
thinking of
saying?
Megan Fox now.
I mean, yes, we all
Mommy.
do.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
She was married to Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes, they were
Yeah.
like really
Angelina
hot.
Jolie?
Yeah, they were a
Yeah.
hot couple. And she was like, oh, she was feral over him. But yeah, they had like each other's blood in like a necklace.
That's MGK, yeah, I think. Isn't that? No.
Have you been listening this whole time?
No.
I said
Sorry, you
yes.
said
I
Megan
think
Fox
that's
and my mind went blank. I just
yeah, I
kept
can
thinking
tell you. Like,
Transformers
oh,
2007.
yeah, okay.
Core
no,
memory.
She eats in that. She eats in that. No. But I think they were like, they did something emulating the Angelina Jolie thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Okay.
what that gives. That's the vibe that gives me with when people get those tattoos, and I just get the ick from it.
Mm.
I just think it's weird. Bless you.
My apologies.
I think it's strange, but if you have them, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, each their own.
I would get. I think about this regularly. I would get a little like tattoo of like the plastic vampire fangs. I would totally get a
you would
tattoo
get
of
that
those.
little one? That's
Yeah,
pretty
like a
good.
little tiny one. That'd be so cute, huh?
I really like, unfortunately, everywhere I want to get a tattoo is like where it would hurt the most.
Mm.
Like either on the ribs right here.
Ouch, yeah.
Or I thought about getting like the mountains for like on my knees. For,
Really?
Like, the Resan one. So I'm like,
Ow.
but that's my point, that shit hurts.
Yeah, I have one on my foot and it hurt really bad.
Dude, like the fact that I'm a pussy with fear of commitment does not help my need for like a
I'm glad you can
life-altering, painful
Say
procedure.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Procedure. Well, that's yeah, like that, but dainty.
Well,
Dainty,
that's
though, and not with Bite
exactly
Me.
That.
No, not with Bite Me in it. Like a dainty one. Our friend Caitlin has one, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that'd be so cute, you know, because like I said,
Yeah.
these vampire love goes strong here. So, anyways, but the werewolves, they bite the thing and it's a mark and it stays there forever.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the cool thing
Yeah.
that they can do.
Yeah.
Apart from other things that we'll get to a little bit later. But they come to a deal and they're like, hey, we have to go see the former alpha's mate that I killed because we think she's the one
yeah.
who might know things about Serena and is trying to kidnap Anna.
Right.
So let's go. And she's like, I'm
Mhm.
coming with you. And he's like,
This
okay,
is when it gets
but we have
juicy.
to follow these rules.
Yes.
And when they're flying the plane, which of course he has a private plane that he can fly because he's
Rich.
a pilot too, on top of everything.
Yeah, and
else.
that's literally what she said. She goes, "Of course he's a
Of course
pilot
he's
too."
a pilot. I think I remember reading
Yeah,
that
she's
being
like, "And he flies
all right,
well."
at
Fuck him.
at least she's aware enough in this writing to be like,
that's
I'm
why I
with it.
love it
All
because
right.
it's so funny. Because that's how all of these books are. All of these books are so predictable. They're so just like silly, funny vibes.
like,
and so when
yeah.
it leans in, you're like, yes, you know, because that's how you know one of us wrote it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Allie Hazelwood is one of us. What you giggling at?
I'm just thinking about it. That's
It's
all.
so funny. So yeah, he's a pilot. They fly to California, where we currently are, and they're
Yeah.
gonna go to the maid.
I
Whatever.
gotta go there, but he's like, wait, before we go,
Oh yeah, what are the rules?
I need everyone here is going to want to kill you, so they have to know that you're important to me, so that they don't make a move.
Yeah,
So
you
I
know
have
my
to
stuff.
scent you.
Mhm.
And the title of this chapter, because each chapter starts off with like a thought from low.
Yeah, which I enjoyed.
It's like,
It gave Breathmints and Battle Scars in the way
It's a
where it's
little
like
bit
gives
like
a
a nice
little
little thing.
tidbit of what's going on in his.
this
brain.
one, speaking of Breathmints and Battle Scars,
Oh, what does it say?
she tastes the way she smells.
Oh yeah.
And then we can go back to You Smell Wet from Breathmints
Oh
and Battle
god.
Scars.
Yep.
But that's a better way to do it. You taste
Yes.
the way you smell. That's
Yeah,
you can at least
yeah.
okay. We'll allow that one for
Yes.
now.
Yes.
And he has to mark up her scent glands or
Yeah,
her
like
sweat
right here.
ones so that she ends up smelling like him, so that nobody
Yes.
will mess with her while they're in this enemy territory.
Yes.
So it gets a little steamy because
It
that involves a
does.
lot of and
I was
licking.
like,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm with it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
All
was
right.
so
And
with
they're
it.
both really getting into it too. 'Cause
Oh
they're like,
yeah, they were starting to get a
okay.
little carried away.
Whoa. So you're
Mhm.
just scenting each other, guys.
Yep.
Here, right?
And ooh,
And
they were living
then
in
he
so
pulls
fast.
away quickly. And
Uh-huh.
because he was very clearly enjoying himself with that too.
Mhm.
And she's like, oh my God, but you have a mate. That's
Like we can't be
crazy.
doing this.
Whoa, that's bad.
Mhm.
And it comes out at this moment. This was an interesting conversation. And this is where I kind of started to get the ick for Lo
Mm.
when he was talking about his mate very clearly being misery of just like,
Yeah.
I would take anything she gives me. I'd never ask for anything in return, even if
Oh
I knew that
yeah.
I'd never see her again, blah, blah, blah. I would never chain her down or hold it. And I was like, bro, this is basic communication that would be like, hey, I know you can't understand this, but technically you're my mate. Do with that information what you will.
He very much dances around everything instead
And
of
it's
just saying it.
It's my eyes were gonna stay in the back of my skull just the
Yeah.
way I was rolling. I was like, "Low, bro, just use your words, big boy."
You
Come
know
on."
what? This is so funny hearing you say this because I feel like, do men think about these things? Because it doesn't feel like they do. Do you know what
What
I'm
do you mean?
saying? I feel like
Scenting people? No, I didn't think about
no,
that.
no, the communication thing.
Communication thing, yeah.
Yeah, more. You need to talk to your friends, okay? Because everyone needs to get on that level where they need to know where you need to be communicating. Spell things out.
I can actually
Don't
break
speak
this down
in
a little
riddles.
bit. All
Okay,
right,
break it down.
we don't have thoughts. We're not this complex. We would be like the second
Yeah.
that if mates were a thing for humans and I found mine, I'd be like, oh, something just clicked. Do we want to do something about that? Like get to know each other a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe some coffee or something? And if they're like, no, I'd be like, that really fucking sucks that you don't feel the same way. Oh well, guess we got to get it. But
Yeah.
also, I don't have the animalistic urges of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
man. I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
I'm much too like,
Eh.
it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, just I was reading it because I think I was just saying I was reading it and I was like, yeah, that tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you were getting frustrated. I think that's interesting.
I was just like, bro, just use your words. Come
Yeah.
on, just say, hey,
Yeah.
that's
This is
not how it
what's
works.
going
Yeah.
on.
Um.
Anyways, so they go in. She smells like him.
They have a little dinner there. Vampires don't ever eat in public, and they only ever feed on like blood bags.
Mhm.
Essentially, they don't ever drink
Yeah.
from people
People.
ever because like that's such a hassle.
Yeah.
Usually, which I thought was really funny. Just like
She's like, that's too much
it's
energy.
like a whole thing that you have to do, and also like there's blood banks right
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
easier.
It's
Why-
like
why
nice
would
and
I?
chilled. Like why would I want to have to hunt my meal? Yeah, such a
I thought this funny. So they're staying somewhere.
yes.
I thought it was funny because they were like, there's only one bed, but she's like, they literally said, she's like, there's not going to be an only one bed situation here, you guys. I don't sleep in a bed.
Oh yeah, she sleeps in the closet. That's
yeah,
right.
she's like, she's like, it literally was written like, don't get it twisted, you guys. That's not going to happen.
And
Don't get too
I
excited.
love that. The
Mhm.
self-awareness of this book
Mhm.
is what kind of sets it apart from like what would normally be
I
like a
agree.
generic one in this book. I'm just like, all right, guys, we
She's
know
like,
we know what
"Nah,
we're about.
I
We know,
love it.
We know what this is. Let's just have some fun vibes here,
Yes,
you know?
I loved that.
And popcorn, here we go.
Yeah,
So
so enjoyable.
she sleeps in the closet, and then they have like a little dinner and stuff like that with like her food right in front of her, and she's like, I'm not gonna eat this, but they have to snoop around to like plant some bugs in the former Alpha's mates. Her name's Emery. We'll just
like office or whatever.
her office, Emery's office.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I have to go feed guys," and everyone's like,
right there.
"Ugh, vampires." Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'll take you." And they
Mhm.
go and they sneak into the office and they start planting the stuff. And they're like, "No, we need time." The guards start walking on in. She's like, "Fuck, what do we do?" And he's like, "Drink my blood."
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh, no, I've never done that before. I can't just drink someone's blood. What are they gonna say? Like, ew, that's gross." And he's like, "No, we don't have any other option, all right? You said you were going to feed." He's like, but. He's like, "Do it now."
Do it
So
now.
She was like, this looks good. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
She's like, I have to use my what was it? My instincts to find the juiciest vein or
The
whatever. I was
juiciest
like,
vein.
I'm screaming. Yeah, and so she latches on.
That brings me back to for those of you who read the first Crescent City book, the vampires there find the juiciest vein a different way.
Oh yeah.
They're like, "Hey, how about I
Arr.
down there? What's
Well,
up? Hey."
yes.
But anyway, sorry, that just awakened a weird memory of Bryce being like,
Yeah, wackadoodle stuff. These vampire books, they're getting
Back to
creative,
back.
aren't they?
Mhm.
So yeah, this gave me
This was probably my favorite scene of the book, like even more so than spoilers than like the first time that they actually do end up getting together.
yeah.
Because her drinking his blood and then like kind of like wrapping her hips around him, like the everything that's going on between them that's not actually going on,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of like, this is kind of crazy good, and he's like,
Yeah.
this is kind of crazy good.
It reminded me of Serpents in the Wings of Night in a way where like her drinking the blood like is like a
No, him drinking her blood.
right. That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
Mhm.
Is like an act of like
Wink, wink.
and it's taking them places. I was like, oh,
I
but
liked this scene better.
I
than
did too, I
in,
did too.
Like it's written very well and
I
vividly,
agree.
and yeah, I also like when like the guards walk in, they're like, "Oh, my bad. Okay."
yeah,
And everyone's like, "You're just letting a vampire drink your blood, Alpha?
Yeah.
How could you do that? That's
hmm
not what our way." And he's like, "Fight me, bro."
yeah.
And they're like,
She
"All
said
right."
his blood was spicy. That made me giggle too. There was spicy werewolf
the
blood.
spicy
and a
green blood
spicy
once again.
scene.
Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to drink it. Like I've been drinking it, like it's green.
it's green.
It's like a kale salad, like a kale smoothie or
Smoothie.
something like that. In that
The
salad.
green juice.
You're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to Jamba Juice. How can I help you today? You're just like,
LOL.
all right, don't worry. I get like extra scoops of green.
But yeah, I agree. It was. Oh,
was a good
I
time.
watched the. I loved that part. Now I'm on that page right now.
And then they have to
I'm like,
immediately rush on back because there's an emergency. Anna is sick.
on a sick.
Yeah. So they book it on back there. And werewolves don't get sick. So this is where everyone's starting to figure out that, she's not fully werewolf.
Yes.
So Misery's like, I have a solution, guys. I used to live around the humans, and my bestie would get sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get her some Tylenol.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of medicine?
It's just a crazy new thing these humans have come up with. Which, that's what was so, like, funny is that, like, everything is so modern and normal. Like, even, like, we described this book initially, like, as a fantasy type of thing, but we were talking about this earlier, that it's not really fantasy. It's
Yeah.
and that makes sense, the fact that Ellie Hazelwood is like a scientist and like breaks everything down like biologically with it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But also I was kind of bummed that there wasn't some element of magic or something
Yeah.
in it, like with the
I get what you're
vampires.
saying.
At least, just because it's a little
Well, the
something.
vampires can though.
They can thrall. Yeah, they have like a bit of like an eye staring contest, mind control. Just
It's like Vampire Diaries with the compulsion thing.
I just pictured the is it a gopher or a groundhog that just
yes.
and does that whole thing? That's
Yes.
it's a very old thing. That,
Yes,
that
I know
dated
what
me
you're
right
talking
there.
about.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it gives that. So yeah, she's tending to Miss Anna. Also Miss Girl doesn't eat real food except she loves peanut butter.
She loves her peanut butter. She's just like me for real.
I'm not a peanut butter
You're not
girly.
a peanut butter girly.
No.
Dude, Ted
Yeah.
Lasso. If you guys have ever seen that show where he just leaves a jar of peanut butter open all the time,
Yeah. That's you?
that's fucking brilliant.
I just take spoonfuls.
I do a spoonful just because I don't like sticking my finger in there. That's like then if anybody else ever wants like peanut butter.
What? I didn't. That's not even what I thought you would have done. I just meant like use it for other things. But you went straight to
What do you mean I use it for other things? What do you
like a
mean?
sandwich.
Oh my god! I was like,
Alexandros.
what do you think I'm using this peanut butter for? Yo,
Oh
hey,
my
hey,
god.
you brought it up. Hey, I'm just saying I use a spoon so that like if anybody ever wants peanut butter, they're
Yeah,
not gonna be grossed out
I
by
wouldn't
me,
have
like,
assumed you would put your finger in it. That's strange.
that's how Ted Lasso does. He just
Oh.
yeah. I'm saying I use a
Still,
spoon.
Licking your fingers. Ugh, gross.
You've never licked your fingers before?
I mean, I'm just saying.
There's
the
another
regular.
joke in terms of spice with that there, but
Yeah, there is.
move
There
on.
is. There is.
Anyway, so little girl gets all better. She's all happy now. She's like,
Yeah.
wow, it's amazing what medicine can
Yeah, can
do.
you believe over-the-counter drugs?
And he's all like, what would I have done without you here?
Like, go to
Misery?"
CVS yourself. I'm not sure,
Mhm.
but he couldn't have.
No.
Mm-mm. So then, Misery. This is when with peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
She's having a snack. She's like, "Oh, I'm
and
her
she licks it off
savior."
of his fingers.
Okay, that's hot though.
Oh, it's hot when it's someone else's hand?
Yes. Anyone who agrees with me, tell me. I'm sorry, but I think I get ugh, that's weird.
Go ahead.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know what? Yeah.
Not yours.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyways,
And she's like, huh.
she's having a
I
snack.
feel like my heart's stopping right now.
Yeah.
And she's poisoned.
That
Somebody
bitch was
poisoned the
poisoned.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Who
Who could have done that?
Interesting.
No.
And he is pissed.
Oh yeah. It's
He's an angry
vibes.
elf.
Not like he's an angry elf. That's crazy.
So
But Miss Girl is okay. She's on the mend. She wakes up. They're like, "What the fuck is that?"
mhm.
The whole thing.
This is where we get to I just want to say this quote just because I was mad about it
Okay.
while we're there. I lived among humans for 1.5 decades.
Just say
Fuck you for that
15
unit of
years.
time. That's literally just like when you have to hit a word requirement in an essay
Yeah.
or something. You're like,
I do feel like
1.5
I
decades.
feel like what she was going for was because the vampires are kind of like pretentious in their high rise, like.
But she's so
Whatever.
normal and like
I know. So
down
when
to
you say that,
earth
you're
for
like,
everything
girl,
else.
it's like fourth floor and
She's
seven
so
years ago, whatever the
for
fuck.
real coded that
Yeah,
like
a fortnight ago, I did have like stuff like that.
that's not how this works.
Midsummer Night's Dream coded. It's so funny.
1.5 decades.
Yeah.
15 years. That's just 15 years. That's
Yeah,
a really
girl.
weird way to say 15 years. That's like when mothers go like, "Oh, how old are they? 46 months." Bro,
Yeah.
that's 4. That's 4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start introducing myself in weeks now. Oh, how old are you? I can't even do the math.
Yeah, I don't even know. I try to.
52 times 24.
Let's see what that is.
I'm 1,248. I'm way more than 1,248 weeks though, because I'm not just that age. All right. Anyway, moving
I'm
on.
way more than that too.
Yeah.
Ew. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
we
you
keep
understood
going
my
off
Gopher
track.
reference. Yeah. we
Yeah,
know
I
how
know.
old you
I'm
are.
old. Okay. Anyways,
All
so
the time. Like and subscribe if
get
your
back
back
to it.
hurts.
Yeah, literally.
May thy back chip and shatter. Guys, Maddie posted a TikTok on her personal account because we just went to go see Dune 2
Yeah.
last night. And the May Thy Knife Chip and Shatter, she's down so
I'm
bad.
down
for
so
Fade
bad for
Rotha.
Fade Rotha, you guys.
And I judge her so hard. For
I'm
it.
sorry. So he's my like, hear me out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
My hear me out. He's
You
hot.
get one. You get one of those.
Yes,
yeah.
and he's mine. I would say my taste is very much normal, except Fade Rotha.
Mhm.
And so I posted a TikTok of that. And this hilarious person commented on it and said, "May thy back chip and shatter." Tell me that's not the funniest thing you've ever heard.
I was so
I'm
funny.
so mad I didn't think of
burst out
that.
laughing. That was good.
I'm mad I didn't think of that. Misery, may thy back chip and shatter, okay?
It will, absolutely.
It will. Okay, let's get back to it.
She gets better because she's good at fighting off poisons. They're like, what's going on here? We
Yeah.
have a traitor somewhere.
Yeah, there's someone
Interesting.
within us who's bad. What are you doing over there?
I'm looking for to find out why I highlighted this quote here.
What's the quote?
I regret it instantly. I don't regret it at all. I think it's the second time that she drinks his blood or something.
Oh yeah.
She's like, no, I can't do that. Oh.
Yeah. They have a few more encounters, but like when she's in the bathtub, that was kind of sexy.
Yes.
And he's like playing with her like butt. I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, no. So she gets in the bathtub.
Yes.
And like he's like, oh, you're one of those guys who uses a washcloth. He's like, yes, doing that slowly.
And I was
he's
like,
very like
oh. Yeah.
locked in slowly.
I was down
And
bad.
then she's like, I don't usually use a washcloth. Hint, hint. And he's like, he doesn't take the bait. And he's like,
Mm-mm.
no. And she's like, oh, here. And she just gets rid of it. He's
Yeah.
like, would you look at that? Now you got to use your hands.
Yeah.
See?
Whoa.
There you go.
go. I appreciated those scenes, the encounters, the spice, if you will.
Mhm.
They were a little different than than other books.
Yeah.
And I appreciated
They
that.
all, there was a lot of variety in this.
It was variety. It was giving like different things, but also they weren't like every other one I've read in every other book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, the peak spice scene was the first blood drinking scene.
I
for
agree
me.
because it was high. The tension was so
Mhm.
high.
So they keep looking into the disappearance of Serena. They can't
Yeah.
find anything. She has a twin brother named Owen that is also looking into it for her.
So like I couldn't have cared less. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
was kind of like, all right.
Yeah, I couldn't have cared less about Owen.
There's a lot of characters that you just don't care about, and
Yeah.
that's what's good about this book. None of it matters.
That's true. That's true.
None of it matters.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible.
None of it matters. Yeah, I agree. I appreciate you for that, Ali.
We read this for the 6.5 foot tall. Sorry, decade and a half foot
Yeah.
tall. 6.5 foot tall werewolf man and the little tiny vampire girl.
No, she's tall.
Is she tall?
Yeah, that's her whole gag. She's really tall.
How tall is she?
I think they're close to the same height. That was like the thing when they were getting married. They were like pretty eye level.
I missed that entirely because the rest of it is like he's towering over her. I thought.
Not that she's pretty tall, and I mean I think it's a gag that is taller than her. She says she's like I not normally see men that are taller than me. Good for you, tall girls. It's
Gotta
a win
adjust
for you
this
guys.
dynamic now. Interesting.
Does that really change it for
It
you?
really changes up everything that I was envisioning.
Yeah. No,
In,
she's
like,
not
a
very
not
dainty.
creepy way. Yeah.
She's not very dainty. She's
Hmm.
tall. She's also a late bloomer, and I stand. Good for you, girl. All of these are her first encounters because she lived away from people, and she's a vampire, and she lived
Yeah.
among the humans, so she can't really.
Now I'm picturing I'm very sorry about this visual, but like a first time, but like with purple blood. Like,
Yeah, that's
I don't-
wild.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild.
Uh.
That's wild.
Anyway,
Don't think too hard about it. This is fun. This is fun.
It took me out of it every single time. Anytime there was a different
Yeah.
colored blood, I was like, oh, that's right.
Yeah,
makes me
it's
mad.
interesting. Yeah.
They go back to her apartment to look for some clues.
Oh yeah.
And
Things get
one thing
spicy.
leads to another.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hey,
She's like, let's
do you have a condom? And he's
yeah.
like, we won't need that.
He's like, we don't need that.
And she's like, okay, but like, you know.
She's like, I don't know. We
This
could
is
make a Renesmee.
Yeah, you know, Anna's out there.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no,
We're
not compatible. And they just
Mhm.
kind of do some
What you about to
over the
say?
pants stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
But
things go
their
places.
pants aren't on, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
And he's having a good snack right there to
Oh
for
God.
those of you
Yeah.
who are aware of what's going
Well,
on,
yes,
you know.
I think they figured it out.
Dinner is good.
Yeah.
She tastes like she smells.
And,
I can't. There's no other way. You guys
yeah.
know what you guys know what you signed up for by coming to listen to us.
Well, yes.
And
Is this the first time they try to?
they don't try to,
But they talk about it?
Do they have? They do. No, they do
talk
have
about it.
sex. They do have sex here.
Yeah.
And he pulls out at the last second.
Yeah, he's like, I can't. And then she's like, why not?
and then
He's like, well, I have to tell you about something.
and then he just kind of takes her hand and guides down, and all of a sudden she's like, "What is this grapefruit down here? What's
Ew!
going on?" Because
Ew!
they're biologically incompatible, as he
Yeah.
keeps insisting.
So this is where the nodding comes in.
Yes. So once again, for those of you who didn't listen to our trope episode, nodding is this thing that happens in most monster fics or werewolf fics or Omegaverse things.
Which I didn't know about until last week.
where
Here comes the visual again.
Yep, here's the visual, guys. I'm
In
very
case you missed
sorry.
last
In case
episode.
you missed it. Werewolf, other person, swells up right down here so it gets trapped in.
Yeah.
That's
That's how those werewolves be populating all the
yeah,
time.
because it really seals them in.
Yes.
Efficiency.
Yes.
They can't go anywhere once they're trapped inside. So
Yes.
Misery's like, that doesn't look like the most fun time, but
Yeah,
I'm not
they're like,
opposed to it.
She's like, maybe eventually.
Yeah,
Could
we'll
be
get
fun.
around to it. And then she
Yeah.
brings up, hey, I don't think Gabby's your mate.
Yeah.
I think I'm your mate. Because a little bit earlier, they had gone to meet up with her brother to find out some tea.
Right.
And she saw how he was with his supposed mate, Gabby. And she's
Mhm.
like, he doesn't
That
give a shit
doesn't-
about her.
yeah.
Hold on a second. Nah, he does that shit with me.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
She finally connects the dots.
Is this play about us?
Is this fucking play about us? Yes.
And this is where we both texted each other like, I hate him.
Oh my
He's the
God.
worst.
He went so mean and was like, no, of course not. That's not what this is. It could never be like that. This is just fun.
Don't say words you don't understand.
Yeah,
like
Yeah, you're not a
mate and
werewolf.
stuff.
You don't understand. Like, you've jumped to conclusions. We've taken this too far. I was like, ugh.
Like
Gross.
oh, it's to protect her. Shut the fuck up.
No.
Shut
th-
the.
I honestly,
Ooh.
it was so, because it was like,
Go to your crate right now. Bad dog.
yeah, bad dog.
Bad dog.
We need a dog whistle. Like, I couldn't. We need a zap collar. Zzz. I don't know. Maybe you would like
dog
that.
whistle just blowing in.
Yes. I'm like, boo.
Made me so mad.
Lost me
And,
there
like,
for a second.
He lost me for the rest of the book. Actually,
really?
I was no longer into this.
Yeah,
one.
because I'm like, you don't have to be a dick about it.
So he calls one of his seconds, his best friend, whose name is Mick, who like we haven't mentioned because none of these side characters really matter.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they don't.
like, they're all.
But
Very
Mick,
forgettable.
Mick, what I think it's important to say that Mick and Misery had like a
Yeah, they were good.
little
vibes.
kinship.
Yeah. He was the only one who was like, I
Nice
don't
to
think
her,
that
yeah.
you're a blood sucking monster who's gonna kill everyone.
Exactly.
And then he kidnaps her and delivers her to the antagonist of the whole thing, her dad,
But who's in the cell that's holding her too?
Serena.
Yeah.
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
No, for real. The besties are brought back together again.
And it comes out Serena is also a hybrid. She's half werewolf as
Yes.
well.
Yes, she's like, and she's connecting the dots. She's like, oh yeah, full moons. They didn't do well for her, did they?
Yeah, she got like really sick during the full moons. That's
Yes.
crazy.
And then Miss Girl, she's like, oh, that's why you were sick all the time. And then she's like, oh, also, how's Sylvester doing? She's like, who's Sylvester? She's like, my cat.
Oh, a little girl took him and named him Sparkles. I don't
That
think
was
you'll
cute.
get Sylvester back.
Yeah,
ever.
that was really cute.
Dude, it just kind of flows so silly. And
Yeah,
then, like,
and that's why I think it's
the
so
end here
enjoyable.
is just like an overload of
Yeah.
exposition.
I was like, huh?
And that's not me trying to like shit on it. Like,
No, not
every
at
single
all.
time that like just for clarification that we're like didn't really like that. It's not us trying to be like this was awful or anything.
No,
I
I
feel like it can
thoroughly
get
enjoyed it.
misconstrued like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's just like it was whatever. It wasn't why I
Yeah.
was reading the book.
Right.
you
I'm
know?
not here. I am not reading this book for like the drama really. I'm
His-
reading it for a different reason.
His motivations, her dad, who's the bad guy who was killing people as well
Yeah.
to like keep the vampires in
Kind
power.
of lost me, to be honest.
I was like, your plan's not really good.
Yeah.
Like I can think of like 8 better ways to do this that doesn't
But
involve.
what was he trying to do?
He was trying to make sure the vampires stayed at the top of the food chain while keeping the wares and humans fighting while using the collateral system.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Because he was very good at hypnotizing.
He was just trying to stir some shit. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because he had the like governor. Like,
He had like quick hypnotize. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh hey, do I got something on my face? Gotcha,
yeah, for real.
gotcha, bitch."
hmm
Um,
And then the drama.
and then Owen brings
unfolds.
in Lo in handcuffs too,
Yes.
and she's like, "Oh my god, my brother betrayed me because there was a
Mhm.
convo earlier." That's not really, once again, not really that important.
No, but Lo is like, or Owen.
Owen was like, "I'm gonna have a coup and overthrow Dad if you want to help me, Misery." And she's like, "No, he's gonna kill you. He's
Yeah.
too smart for that." So then she's like, "Oh my god, he's betraying me too. Fuck, I don't have anyone in life. No. Oh gosh."
yeah.
And then, surprise, surprise, it was a trap,
Surprise,
and Lo and
surprise.
Serena both shift into wolves. and
Yes, because I thought that part was really slay though, where
she just had the pink tank top carried.
yeah, that was so funny.
Because when they shift, their clothes get ripped too.
See, that's another thing of it. This book doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's why it's fun.
It's like, I always thought that I always wondered like where their clothes go. when
yeah,
they
the
shift
shirt was
into
just
wolves.
around Serena's neck.
They're
And
like,
she's a
did you
wolf.
just think that like they transformed into fur with us? Like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? Throwing a glass would like a thing to say about that too. It's
Yeah.
like, and she's like, well, I didn't think about it. I
Yeah.
never thought that much about you guys shifting, but that makes sense why that one girl was naked
Mhm.
and quote unquote tits bouncing just like in my face right after.
But this is also during that whole altercation is when she kind of got the message to Lo that Anna would be able to shift eventually,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That was during that.
Because that was a huge thing that they were kind of worried that like, oh my God, what if she never can? And like, she's going to be outcast in society. What can we
Mhm.
do? And I was never worried about it at all. I'm going to be honest. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm sure it'll work out.
Yeah. But it was like a big deal for Lo to find that out.
Everything was such a big deal to Lo when it was never that.
Lo, I think, just likes to be.
He's such a
he's-
drama queen.
Yes, I'm like, you just like to be down bad about
I'm
something.
going to call him Woe from now on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm like, ugh, you're too hot to
My
be
mate.
like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, so then it kind of all gets resolved.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, nice try telling me that I'm not your mate, motherfucker.
I know I'm your mate,
but
sir.
No, I am.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go their separate ways, and like she doesn't see him for a while, and then
Yeah.
she finally drops Serena off with the wolves to be like,
Mhm.
hey, you should figure out how to be a werewolf
Yeah.
better, because like you're kind of half that. She's like, yeah, you're right. And then she stops at Lowe's to like, I guess, grab her stuff. She's like, he hasn't talked to me. He doesn't want to talk to
Yeah.
me. I'm like, girl, obviously he wants
Ugh.
to talk to you. And
Men.
they run into each other there, and she's like, oh, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you packed my stuff up? And he's like, I'm putting in special glass so that you can live here full time and like not be burned by the sun. And she's like, you want me to live here? And he's like,
He's like, well, yes.
if you want to, yes. I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. That's why you didn't
Yeah.
come over. She's like, I wasn't invited. He's like, bitch, you live here.
Miscommunication, of course, as
Mhm.
always.
And then some things happen, and the moment we've all been waiting
Some
for,
knots are
seeing if their
tied.
biology lines up,
Yep.
the knot is definitely tied.
Yep.
And,
And it worked.
it goes pretty well. She seems pretty
Yeah.
down for it. She
She
doesn't.
does. She was like, I kind of
Okay.
live.
And now
And that's when he was like, it's gonna hurt you. And she's like, well, it kind of hurts you when I drink your blood, so it's just a win-win.
period. Yeah.
I was like, okay, work.
Just a little kinky. There you go.
Yeah. And,
And
then
now I want to get to the specifics of nodding, just
not
because
not the stance change. Go ahead.
I told you a little bit about this at dinner right before,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
women, as you know, have the ability to give birth in general.
Right.
In doing so, a whole ass baby comes out of there.
Yeah.
So the concept of it getting stuck, I want to know how big that knot like is,
Uh-huh.
because like it's got to be like at least like out to there then if it's getting stuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I guess a little bit smaller because like there are no contractions or anything that are like really widen.
Right. Well,
I just want to know the
when you're-
specifics of this.
This
I'm
is
sorry. If
crazy.
you've made it this far, then
Yeah.
like break this down with us guys.
Well, but also when you're giving birth, your body knows that that's about to happen, and so things happen. You know.
I get
But
that's what I mean by,
also
like, contractions and
sometimes
stuff, yeah.
things rip. You know what I'm saying? But also, as far as
Beyblade. Let it rip.
yes, as far as female anatomy,
Okay. Which I'm an expert on, of course.
yeah. Well, yes. You
The
know, like
clitoris is here, right?
shut up. Like
We still haven't found it, boys. We're still looking.
because there's like
It's out there
I
somewhere.
don't want to say what I'm gonna say, but like
Say
there's like and then it goes in, but then there's more space above there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it needs to go through a tighter space to get to there's more space. So it's stuck right there. Do you not know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you've started out right now.
I
For
don't know
those of you
what
just
to say.
listening, just know that if you were watching that,
it wasn't
that
any better.
hand map out, it didn't
It didn't
help at
help
all.
because I'm embarrassed.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, there's a hole
Like-
in this general area. Okay, I'm familiar with that
getting,
one, I
like,
think.
I'm getting, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What was this other stuff that was up there
So
that
like
you were
it's
talking
like
about?
the like there's the
Just use the word.
canal,
Okay, canal.
right?
Canal.
Okay. So like, but there's
Canal.
more space up there. There's more space up there. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it would have expanded.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so it's like not at the entrance, but it's like getting locked in. Okay, well I understood
Yeah, because
that
then
part.
it wouldn't be able to get through the smaller.
That's what I mean. That like the entrances would also. Anyway,
But
okay.
I think it only widens for specific things.
for that
I don't-
specific, for that one specific.
yes,
instance of
and
giving
also
birth?
most of the time there's some collateral damage.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
okay, because I was very concerned that this
He-
thing was
low-
swelling up to the size of like a watermelon, and I was like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
Jesus, no. But like low's like, I want to do this every day. And I'm like, wait, what?
Every day.
That means, yeah. So, but it has to be somewhat doable for it to be every day.
No, they
And-
both very much enjoyed it
Yeah.
for like the most part. It seems.
Yeah.
Did she drink his blood during that scene?
Yes.
Okay, I
I was like,
don't
oh
remember
my
that.
God.
I didn't remember her, like,
Some
actually-
interspecies connections.
hey,
Hey,
if it's hot, it's hot.
I agree. You have been record on here saying that you don't like blood play, and now you're saying you were into it.
Well, that's when it's vampires. When it was like high fae out of nowhere,
I
like
get what
for
you're
Throne of
saying.
Glass and Air of Fire, I was like, you're just drinking blood to drink blood. I
Yeah.
don't-
This, yeah.
This is like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like in Serpent of the Wings of Night, where there's like, oh yeah, there's aphrodisiac in my venom fangs. I'm like,
Mhm.
of course there is. Go on.
Yeah. Which is kind of what this is giving. That's what that
Mhm.
reminded me of.
Yeah, they definitely get like some good rushes from it. But
yeah.
I like what he says at the very end where she's like, you can bite me, because like that's a
Mhm.
huge thing. She doesn't get it.
Oh, right.
And he's like, I'm not gonna do that now.
Mhm.
We're gonna put you back in your wedding jumpsuit that she was in, or like her
Mhm.
wedding dress / jumpsuit. What is she?
Yeah, it's a
described
jump-
as a jumpsuit,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, she's got pants.
And she's like, "Where are you gonna bite me?" And he's like, "Right on the back of the neck,
Mm-hmm.
right on there." So that, what does he say verbatim? Keep chatting while I look real quick.
Did you guys like our explanation of all that? I'm sorry if it was a little too explicit. I was getting really embarrassed. It was very interesting stuff, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He's still looking. You finding anything? I can't be left to my own devices.
Yes, you can. Just keep on.
La, la,
Here it
la.
is. Here it
Okay.
is. Here it is. Here it is. Here
I
it
was
is.
gonna start singing for you guys.
So he wants to bite her on the back of the neck so that not everyone will always see it, but he says that you'll wear your hair up and people will see it, and they will know that I took my beautiful vampire bride the way wolves do, and she loved it. And you'll be good for
it's
me,
a
won't
dog
you?
joke.
Yeah, it's a doggy style joke right there.
I
You didn't
missed
get
that the
that?
first time.
They're literally dogs.
I missed that the first
That's I
time.
immediately got that, and I was like, in the wedding
Like,
dress too? All right,
word.
period.
That's so funny. And then it ended in an epilogue though, where we kind of got we're given the
Teaser for the
teaser. I
sequel.
think there's gonna be
Where one of them walks in and is like, Serena's my mate.
yeah. So I think we're getting the
Uh-oh.
Serena book.
I'd be excited for that.
Yeah.
I'll read it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't need more of Bride, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not like,
yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens. But I'm also like, yeah, sure, I'll read another
Yeah.
one. Because this was also her first dabble into this, right? Allie
Yeah.
Hazelwood? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. All
And I
all
don't know
around.
enough about this author apart from they got their start in Raylo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Raylo.
Also exciting. We're looking for good Raylo Rex, guys, if you guys have any.
Please tell us your Raylo Rex.
Because, okay, for our Raylo specifications, though, have it be like in universe or universe like adjacent in
Yeah.
a way. Like Kylo and Rey go to a coffee shop while moving apartments. That's just not it for me.
I mean, that is literally a love hypothesis.
That's what. That wasn't meant to be a diss, but like
But
it doesn't. I need to feel the Star Wars.
Yeah, and you're
you know?
like picking up that book knowing it's like that's different. I want to get I want in universe stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's that,
Mhm.
and then
You guys have any good Fade Rotha fanfic? Please.
yeah, if there's any good
my
Dune
way.
fan fiction out there, absolutely. We're kind of obsessed with that. Lisan Al Gaib.
Lisan Al Gaib. We've both seen Dune twice now.
Oh, I remember the one last thing I wanted to mention. It
Okay.
takes 30 minutes for that knot to chill.
30
He is stuck
minutes.
inside her for
She
30
fell
minutes.
asleep and then she woke up and she's like, "How long was it in there?" And he's like, 30
About
minutes. I was like,
Like,
and then he said, "I want that every day." I
your
said,
leg's gonna fall asleep, bro.
Yeah.
You just made- Okay.
Crazy.
What did were we watching Netflix or something? Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
And just like
That's bonkers. But hey, I mean, work
whatever.
floats your boat. What were
I
you
wasn't gonna say. I was trying to make a pun on like whatever knots your boat or something like that.
Whatever
But
ties your knot.
whatever ties your knot. Whatever knots in your butt. There you go.
What?
Floats your boat, knots your butt.
Okay, work. Sure.
It's a huge trip. And it's a great thing to end it on, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Should we tell them what we're doing next time?
Absolutely, guys. We're gonna be heading on back to some Dramione for the next one.
Yes.
But you get to decide which one it is.
I think we're
'cause-
gonna do sugar and spice.
Yes, Sugar and Spice. By
Yeah.
let me find out who it's by before we
Yeah, we're gonna
send
switch
off
it
real
up.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
Any second now, phone, you're gonna load.
It's gonna be
Sugar and Spice by In Love with Forever.
In Love with Forever.
That is a thruple fic with Theo, Draco, and Hermione.
I'm
that
so
I've
ready.
read, and I'm excited for you to get your first taste of like real Theo.
I'm so
'Cause
excited.
You haven't really seen Theo apart from
I mean, he's like
he's
a
in a
side
couple
character.
of them.
He's in
yeah.
Demat Mobile.
Yeah,
And
Demat
he's
Mobile
in
and Breath Mints and Battle
Breath
Scores.
Mints,
Yeah, I
yeah.
forget that you're like slowly building up. God, I'm so glad I'm guiding you through your Dramione journey.
I know.
'cause
I'm pretty
I've
in it
sifted
now.
through so much bad Dramione.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I'm only getting the bangers.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, this is a good banger.
Yeah.
I hardly even know her. Anyway,
Ah!
so Sugar and Spice will be next, guys.
Yes.
Stay tuned for that one. Hope you enjoyed Bride. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes. Also follow us everywhere.
Mhm.
Follow us
Instagram,
on Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok,
Maybe we'll get a
Goodreads.
Goodreads. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make us a Goodreads because that sounds kind of fun.
Mhm.
And tell your friends,
Please.
please.
Also, say happy birthday to Maddie because by the time this comes out, it'll be her birthday.
Yay! Thank you. That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thanks, guys.
see y'all when I'm 28.
Seeing ya.
Bye bye.